Hello everybody. So today is the first time I will cover Robinhood on the channel. Let me start just by saying a few negatives about Robinhood. One of the negative obviously is that the growth for Robinhood is very unpredictable. I can't predict it. It seems to be flat, mostly flat, but every quarter that the growth is down a little bit or users are down a little bit, the stock seems to take a 10-15% dive, but the stock hasn't really moved much. And if I'm interested in this stock, and this is still something I'm still waiting to try out the product, but if I'm interested in the stock, that will be a he must do something portfolio type of stock, right? This is not going to be a very big position for me. However, I think it's important to note a few things. So growth is flat, like I said. Analysts are predicting 3% next 12 months. And the company's cash flow is roughly what I would call cash flow break even. They are investing a lot. If they stopped investing, I have no doubt they would be posting EBITDA profits, but also GAAP profits. They actually posted GAAP profits about 6 months ago or 2 quarters ago. So that was pretty interesting. But not much to be excited about in the way of money yet, and in the way of numbers coming through the door yet. But there is a lot to be excited about what they're building. I believe there's a lot to be excited about their building mode. They're in building mode. That's kind of a crypto ethos here, which is winter is for building, and this is clearly a stock that has had quote unquote a winter ever since the GME, the GameStop debacle. They've had tremendous downturn, customers leaving, customers being mad at them, and the market has dismissed them and entirely discounted them. But short-term growth, I am supremely confident, is not the way of analyzing a company. We should look at growth 3 years out, 5 years out. And if I were to look at, say, if you look at a company like BP, and we see this in business all the time, like a really bad event, how long does it take for your customers to forget a really bad event? And I'm obviously talking about the GameStop debacle. The customers were very, very upset, and now that movie's been out for like 6 months showing everything that happened, everybody upset with Robinhood. Did they really have a choice to do what they did? Well, if they didn't do what they did, they would have gone bankrupt. So it's like their hands was forced by someone in the background to prevent their customers to buy the stock that they wanted. But that bad reputation, I believe we are reaching that point. It's about an 18 months mark, that year and a half, where the bad reputation abates. And if you study companies over and over again when they have scandals, it takes 1.5 to 2 years for the scandal to be gone. And I believe this company is reaching this, and that's going to be a catalyst, because in my view, when I see what they're doing, I believe customers will come back. It's still the most popular app among Gen Z. Many Gen Zs are maybe disillusioned with investing, but the app is still on the phone, and it's still the app that they know. I don't think they're going to sign up for Charles Schwab. I really don't think so. And Gen Z, of course, are where the new money will come. You don't want to be in where the existing money is. You don't want to be in the existing market. You want to take market share in the new market. The new market, you have a blue ocean. You don't have as much competition for new money coming in for a new market. The competition is very, very strong if you're going after the 60 years old. If every single bank, every single asset manager, everybody is going after the money of a 60-year-old. To me, when I look at them going after Gen Z, that's an open market. That's a blue ocean, if that makes some sense. It's a white space opportunity, as they say in the VC world. They have a lot of good things going on. Low spread offering on crypto, and crypto people don't like fees. They chase they chase fees and look at fees and want to eliminate them like crazy. And they don't hesitate switching brokers to go to a broker that has the most fees. And not only do they have low fees on crypto, but they also did not exit crypto. There's a stock that I own that exited crypto, and I was like all upset about it because Gen Z want crypto. Robinhood has no intention of exiting crypto, and of course they have less offerings than, say, a Coinbase. That's obvious, but they still have quite a few offering, and they have a lot of important ones. They have international expansion coming. If you look up Robinhood UK, they're taking pre-registers, they're taking emails. They're going to open in the United Kingdom, right? Which is typically the first country that you go to before you go to Europe, because it's English speaking. It's easy. So you just go to the first Anglo country in Europe, and then you start expanding to the rest of Europe after having a positive UK experience, imagining that they have that positive UK experience, and I believe they will. I feel like they will. Especially if you follow the GameStop story, there was a lot of connection between UK traders and US traders. But that's not it. They, listening to the latest conference calls, you'd be surprised to hear that people who have been clients of TD Ameritrade or E-Trade, they've been forced to move to user interface from their buyouts, right? From Morgan Stanley and Schwab, respectively. They've been forced to move to new UIs, and they've been pretty upset about it. So they're gaining customers from people switching away from E-Trade and be like, okay, well, E-Trade's not as good as it used to be because it got acquired, so now I'm going to move to Robinhood. That's kind of a gift right there, right? They didn't really fight for that one. That's kind of a gift. And what really interests me, and this is what got me to study Robinhood in more detail, is the 3% IRA match. And I believe this IRA match, which they just launched about 2 weeks ago, I believe that is gaining traction. And that's going to be very successful, I feel, in the US, especially as this is the season, right? The beginning of the year is tax season, is the season where people start remembering that they need to put money into an IRA. Like in the US in general, people remember to put money into an IRA before the tax season. I mean, you shouldn't. You should really do it all year round, but just so happens to be that that's when people look at their IRAs. And I believe when they launched this, it's extremely fitting if you look at it. Folks with IRAs, and those folks who are into stocks, like me, like a lot of us watching this channel, they're on top of these things. Like, this doesn't go unnoticed in the stock following community. This 3% match doesn't go unnoticed. So if you don't know about this match, let me tell you about this match. And a week ago it was not everywhere online, and it's slowly becoming a thing online. I see it mentioned more and more. So what is this match? If you transfer an IRA, whether it's a Roth or a regular IRA, traditional IRA or Roth, if you transfer that IRA to Robinhood and you go through a traditional process, and they have this form and they have to reimburse the transfer fees. It's all, if you've already done it, it's not that scary of a thing. If you transfer your IRA to Robinhood and you pay for Robinhood Gold, which is about $60 a year, then you get a 3% match on the IRA that you transferred, and then going forward, the $7,000 a year that you get that you put in your IRA, you're also getting the 3% match. So they effectively have a 3% match on an IRA. Why is that so crazy? And I think that's the real deal. That's what I'm saying, very real. Feel free to pause the video and read my comments, because I really feel like this is the real deal. Why is this the real deal? Well, if you look at how the IRA match is treated, you may say, oh well, if the IRA match, then it reduces my payment into the account. It's gonna mess up with my taxes, right? That's often a concern whenever you deal with IRAs. And if you look at this, the IRA match is treated as interest income in your IRA. We won't deliver a 1099 due to the tax status of IRA. So if you have nothing to do with your taxes, it's simply interest income. It's like, so if you transfer $100,000 from an IRA, say at Schwab, and you transfer it to Robinhood. So you transfer $100K that you have in an IRA sitting at Schwab, and you transfer it to Robinhood. You get $3,000 put into the account by Robinhood. And this is not a taxable event. And if your IRA is a Roth IRA, obviously when you take it out, there's no tax. If your IRA is in a traditional IRA, obviously when you take it in, there is tax. And of course, talk to a professional advisor or talk to a tax advisor. You know the disclaimers here. But this is a gift. This is a gift because you're getting it as interest income. So you're getting 3% in the form of what they call a match, because they use the popular term that every employer throws around. But that's technically not a match. That's a 3% interest income offer that they pay you on the money that you transfer to them. And they put it into their account. and you deal with tax either when you retire or you don't because you have it in a Roth and you're transferring a Roth. So to me, I find this very compelling. I think this seems to be the real deal. And tell me in the comment section if I'm missing something. Robinhood is trying to grow asset under management, asset under custody, right? And when you do that, there's different choice. You could advertise on TV, online, and spend a bunch of money on advertising to acquire customers, or you could just give a generous 3% as interest income and attract customers by giving them straight the bonus, which is kind of what crypto has always done. If you look at all of the businesses kind of targeted at Gen Z, the newer businesses, about, well, the deal is we're not going to spend that much money on advertising to acquire you, but you know what? A good share of the money that we would have spent on advertising if we were more of a legacy business, we're going to take that money and just give it to you. And in this case, that is in the form of interest income. And so I find that very interesting. And I myself, based on my research, I may not be buying the stock, but I'm definitely going to transfer. I have 2 IRAs, and I'm going to transfer those IRAs to Robinhood in a heartbeat. Sorry, Schwab, and sorry. Anyways, I'm not saying who it is. Sorry, I'm going to transfer my IRAs because this seems good. This seems too good to be true. And all you have to do is also you have to keep. You have to have Robinhood Gold, and you also have to be a customer of Robinhood for 5 years for the money to vest. The bonus, they have a penalty they give you a penalty if you just want to do it to get the bonus and move back to your old broker. But I don't see that being a problem, knowing that on $7,000 in an IRA that you're allowed, that's $210, and you're going to pay only $60 for Robinhood Gold, but you're getting $210 on the other side. So this seems very compelling. This seems like a true win-win. It's a win-win for them to get people to register to their Gold, which is their profitable line, right? They earn fees. They're happy about that. And they like kind of own customers for 5 years. So that's happy for them. That's happy for the IRA user too, because you get a 3% match. You get a 3% match on your contributions. This is kind of crazy good. This is crazy good. So I will be going through this process. I guess I'm a Gen Z now. I kind of like this. Oh my gosh. Anyways, and of course, this is no advice whatsoever, nothing, right? But anyways, if you that's what I'm doing. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So there's other catalysts, a few final catalysts. Yeah, like I said, crypto trading picking back up. We have the halving cycle, and this is a company that makes, quote unquote, to use a technical term, boatloads of money when there's a lot of heavy trading. Remember 2021. That was madness for a company like Robinhood. And they have a futures trading app coming soon, and we're going to offer futures, right? Not very common for retail to have access to futures. It's typically more of a hedge fund thing. And lastly, they did an acquisition for $100 million recently of this X1 credit card, which seems to be an innovator in the credit card space. And based on what I'm reading, my intuition would be that they would be offering a permanent 3% cash back credit card, which, if you know the landscape of credit cards in the US, like typically when you have a 3% cash back, it's 3% until like April 1st, 3% for the first 6 months, and then it drops back to 2%. That's most credit cards are 2%, not 3%. 3% is a whole 50% better. So if they had a 3% cashback card that was a permanent cashback card, and I'm saying this because Robinhood seems to like the number 3, that could be a blockbuster product too. I'd be very interested to see how much adoption they would have, because I assume their 3% cashback card would be conditioned on having Robinhood Gold. So they are creating an ecosystem. They're creating an ecosystem just like Amazon is creating their own ecosystem, right? They're creating this ecosystem and this subscription and getting a bunch of millennials to pay them $5 a month for that service. I find this from a qualitative standpoint, and knowing that revenue's flat and knowing that profits are flat, but from a building standpoint, I find that pretty impressive. And remember, and I'll finish with this: Hood is a disruptor. Hood already created a lot of disruption. Remember 2018, 2017, they forced other brokers to slash their fees. They forced them to do the 0% fee because everybody was registering to Hood. So are they forcing another move onto the market by offering things like this 3% match? Imagine if this 3% match, imagine if they force this to the whole industry. The earthquake that could do to the whole industry if they start forcing a 3% match to everybody who offers IRAs who don't give anything, and then they give a 3% match. Imagine that could be an earthquake to that industry, just like the end of fees, of trading fees, was an earthquake to that industry. And I didn't mention this, but there's also over 10-year innovation in fintech. Notably, I was impressed by their securities lending offer, which I find very interesting. Anyways, I find this company to be very, very innovative. And, I'm definitely going to be a customer. I'll let my channel know if I end up buying the stock or not, but I'll definitely be a customer for these IRAs. And anyways, this was not investment advice, no commercial advice, no financial advice, no product advice, no advice whatsoever. This is just entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, and have a wonderful day.